Hey, thought leaders. This is the personalbranding.com podcast, and I'm your host, Dillon Kivo. Join us to learn how to build a legacy, boost your reputation, and make a lasting impact. Let's dive in. What's up, everybody? Dillon Kivo here, and welcome back to the personalbranding.com podcast. And today we're diving into something that can make or break your brand. And honestly, it's something I see people get wrong over and over and over again. It's confidence in your voice. Now, look, here's the truth. Most people don't actually have a voice problem, right? Like a literal voice problem. They've got a confidence problem. They think if they get the right logo, if they tweak their website design, if they come up with the perfect tagline, suddenly their brand voice will just click. But that's not how it works, guys, because your voice isn't hiding inside a design choice. Your voice is hiding behind the lack of confidence. And let's be clear, confidence doesn't come from standing in the mirror saying, I am powerful, I am strong, I have a voice. Confidence comes from proof. And proof comes from doing the thing, doing the reps, right? Every time you show up, every time you put something out, every time you stay consistent, you're stacking proof. And that proof is what makes your voice strong. So let's unpack this. Your brand voice isn't your logo. It's not fonts. It's not the catchy tagline. Your brand voice is the impression people get every single time they interact with you, right? Every DM they see from you, every post that they're just scrolling past, every podcast they listen to, just like this, every time they meet you in person. That is your voice. It is who you are. And here's the thing. Every impression is either building trust or creating confusion. There's no neutral, right? Consistency builds trust. Confusion kills it. Let me give you an example. Imagine you meet someone at an event. They're friendly, they're down to earth, you really like them, and later on you check out their Instagram and suddenly they sound like a completely different person. Overly polished, maybe even a little fake. Then you get an email from them and it's just super stiff, corporate tone that doesn't match either one of the two experiences that you just had, right? The social or them in person. What happens? You hesitate. You don't fully trust them now, right? Like, you kind of have that feeling. That's inconsistency. It kills the relationship before it even starts, right? Now, compare that to someone who feels the same everywhere. You meet them in person, they're authentic. You read their post, same person. You're opening their emails, same voice. You hear them on a podcast, same energy, whatever, right? Over time, you start to feel like you actually know them. And that's the power of consistency. So, how do we actually build confidence in your brand's voice? Let's go through it step by step. So, step one is getting clear on your values, not those fluffy mission statements that nobody believes. I'm talking about real values that you're willing to bet money on, right? Look at Patagonia. They don't just say they care about the environment. They've literally built their entire company around sustainability, right? They put their money where their mouth is. They even encourage customers to repair old jackets instead of buying new ones, right? That is literally living your values. And you don't have to be Patagonia to do this. Let's say you run a small business and you claim that you care about customer service, right? Which we all should. Do you answer emails quickly? Do you refund people when something actually goes wrong and it's your fault? Do you go above and beyond to make things right? Or do you just say, we care about customers on your about page, whatever, and then you just disappear when something goes wrong? When you live your values, your voice comes through naturally. You don't have to force confidence. It's already there because you're simply speaking the truth about how you operate. Now, moving on. Step two is knowing your audience. This is huge. Confidence comes from the clarity, and clarity comes from knowing exactly who you're talking to. If you don't know your audience, every piece of content feels like a shot in the dark. You're always second guessing it. Will they like this? Will it resonate? Am I saying the right thing? Right? Kind of like the whole judgy thing, right? But when you know your audience's problems better than they do, all that goes away. You're never going to run out of things to say, and you'll never doubt how to say it. Here's an example. If you're helping new entrepreneurs and you know they struggle with self-doubt, then you know exactly, what to speak, right? You don't need to guess. You talk about fear of failure, about comparing themselves to others, about, imposter syndrome. And then when they hear you say those things, they think, wow, this person gets me, right? That's what creates confidence. Not only do you sound confident, but your audience feels confident that you are the right person to follow, to trust, to buy from. All right. Step three is choosing a tone that matches who you are. This is where so many people trip up. They see someone successful and they try to copy their style. But here's the problem with that: if it's not you, people will just smell it, right? If you're funny, lean into being funny. If you're serious, be serious. Or I should say, be serious. If you're bold and direct, own that. If you're thoughtful and calm, lean into that. Fine, right? Everything's going to be okay. There's no right tone, right? The only wrong tone is a fake one. Think about Wendy's on Twitter. They roast people, they're sarcastic. That works because it fits them. Now imagine if Apple tried to roast people on Twitter. Totally off brand. Apple's tone is sleek, clean, minimal, visionary, right? Both work, but only because each company sticks to who they are. Authenticity isn't a tactic, it's the only way you're going to last. Step four is putting in the work. And I'll be honest, this is the one that separates people who build confident brands from the people who just stay stuck or suck for the most part. Here's the reality: your first 100, maybe 300 posts are probably not going to be great. I know mine weren't. Even on YouTube, mine aren't right now. Your first 50 videos, you'll probably cringe at them later, right? Your first podcast, oh my gosh, that's awkward. Holy cow. But that's the price of entry. Confidence doesn't show up first, right? Confidence is the reward for doing the work. You don't wait to feel confident and then post. You post and then eventually you become confident. It's not the other way around. Think about the first time you went to the gym. You didn't know what you were doing. You kind of felt awkward. You looked around at people who were clearly just, they obviously knew more than we did, I should say. But the more you showed up, the more confident you became. Business and branding is no different. Reps build confidence. Volume is the shortcut. And step five is staying consistent everywhere. This is where the compounding effect kicks in. Yes, your tone can flex slightly depending on the platform. LinkedIn might be more professional, TikTok, a little bit more casual, but the core of you, your values, your perspective, they must remain the same. When someone reads your LinkedIn, scrolls on your Instagram, and listens to your podcast, they should feel like they're hearing from you, right? The same person. And when that happens, something powerful builds over time. Familiarity. And look, familiarity, it creates trust. So let me step back and tie this together. Confidence in your brand's voice is not a one-time event. It's a light bulb moment where you suddenly feel ready. It's not about designing the perfect logo or memorizing a polished mission statement. Confidence is the byproduct of clarity, consistency, and reps. You get clear on what you believe, right? You speak directly to people you want to serve. You do it in your authentic tone. You show up consistently and you keep putting in the reps until one day you realize you're not trying to sound confident anymore. You simply are confident. And when you're confident, your audience feels it. They lean in, they listen, they trust you. And trust is the ultimate competitive advantage. So here's my challenge to you: stop waiting. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the perfect logo. Stop waiting for the website to be just right. Oh, yeah, I've been there. Start talking to your audience now. Start showing up now. Start putting in the reps now. Confidence is going to follow, proof will stack, trust will build. And before long, you won't just have a brand voice. You'll have a voice that people believe in, follow, buy from. And that's how you build confidence in your brand's voice. And that's how you build a brand that lasts. Thanks for tuning in today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Shoot me a message. Instagram's probably the best. Tag me on social, like, follow, subscribe, all the things. Anyways, let's keep this conversation going. And until next time, God bless. I really think that just overall, I think out of all the episodes, all the podcasts, this is probably my favorite video that I've shot, honestly. Um, I know what it's like to be in those, like, beginning stages. Like, I've had pretty much all the social media platforms besides YouTube until pretty recently. Look, I'm living I've posted, I think, I don't know, 100, 120, over 100 videos, I'm pretty sure. And I think I only have, like, I don't know, close to 600 subscribers. Literally, like, nothing. I mean, I'm talking like hundreds of hours that I have put in to grow the YouTube channel, and I know this gets sprayed across, other channels and repurposed and all that thing, but, like, I get it. Like, putting in the work, yeah, we all know that we need to do that, right? We all know we need to go to the gym. We all know that we need to work hard. We all know that we can't give up. We all know these things, but so little of us actually do it. And it's just like it's really frustrating where, I get messages from people and it's like, "Oh, how'd you do it?" And it's like, I think we all know that it's actually very simple. It's just not easy. It's not easy to build a business that actually is successful. It's not easy to build a business where you actually care about your clients, right? Like, you literally care about them. You talk to them, you hear them out. When you mess up, you make it right. Like, these are the things that build businesses, right? And kind of tying it in with the whole brand voice thing, like, this is literally brand voice is it's also part of trust, as I was mentioning, and reputation, and that's the whole bouquet of who you are. It's tying in all aspects of your business. That's what makes your brand voice. It's another word for brand voice is, reputation is probably the biggest second word I can think of off the top of my head. So it's like we all know what we're supposed to be doing here, but so little of, I don't want to say like us, like I'm in that, like, small percentage, but like I do work hard. I do stay up late. I know what it's like to go through those weeks, the months, even several years of just grinding all the time and feeling like I'm staying in the same spot. I understand where you're at if that's you. So it's like this whole brand voice thing and, like, consuming content, like, it's amazing, but at the end of the day, the best tip I could give you is just go out and freaking work your you know what off. Like, consuming content's great, but at some point, you've gotta put it down. You've gotta put in the work to make the difference. So, anyways, that's probably the last, I don't know, the last minute or 2 is a little extra for you. So, anyways, God bless, take care, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. I'd love to hear from all of you. Follow and connect with me on all of your favorite social media platforms at Dillon Kivo, DILLONKIV as in Victor O. And until next time, keep building your brand and stay golden.